let's talk about camel headstalls, halters or harnesses, whatever you want to call them, how to choose one and how to fit them correctly.
Hi, I'm Russell.
Hi, I'm Tara and we're from CamelConnection.com. We're going to show you some camel halters and some options on how to use certain camel halters and why we use, in particular, what we use. You may notice that we use these rope halters, which we'll demonstrate shortly, and there's a reason we do that. But we'll go through a few different styles and fittings just to give you an understanding. Action.
Okay, so this here we've got a rope halter. Look, it's just a simple horse halter, to be honest. You can buy them at, Horseland or your horse suppliers. Okay, so this is just a rope halter here.
So this is one you buy from a horse store, like it literally just a horse rope halter, like, this and this. And you can make them yourself too. There's YouTube tutorials all over the place on how to make them. Yeah. So super simple.
Yeah, and the other thing too is in tracking, if you've got to have spare equipment, if you're out, tracking for long extended periods of time, you can keep a couple of these in your saddlebag and they don't take up much room. And to be honest, I find these really good. They're strong. Right? I've had these halters for years and with constant use, and they're still good. And you can add little things. Jackie, you want to go ahead and just lower your head down, mate? You can see on his nose that we've put a guard on there, okay, a bit of a soft wool attached to some leather, so it's what we call a nose guard, and it just stops the rope from cutting into their nose a bit more, so it's much more comfortable for the camel. It's always about the camel, it's not about us or anything like that. So there's a practical reason why we have these as well. It's that they're light, they're inexpensive, okay, and you can adjust them, okay, so that you're making sure that your distances are correct. The way how this is actually situated on the camel's face, you can just move your head a bit, mate. So it's just dropping down here, alright, nice line. It's not in the eye, and even if he does pull back on that a bit, it's only rope that will get close to his eye. It's not like a metal buckle or anything like that, and very easy to use. So we also find them really good for training camels. So, what I want to just have a little chat about is about the nose guard, and hang on a minute.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
It's close to Christmas, and there's one here that I've made up. So I've just sewn a piece of sheepskin with the wool onto a piece of leather like that, and that's the end result, where I've actually sewn through the rope halter onto the leather. Stand up, Jackie. So it's very simple, but by gee, I tell you what, it makes such a difference. One of the main problems, like I said, is the integrity of the skin over the bridge, and you want to protect that as much as possible. So that's why we use that. It's pretty simple, really.
So also, if you want a tutorial on how to make these camel halters like this, not the actual headstall part, but the nose guard and how to assemble it properly, we do have a tutorial in our Cameleer Academy, and we welcome new members all of the time. So just before we show you one more way to do almost like a makeshift halter on a camel, I just want to show you the assembly of the rope halters that we have. So Russell went through a little bit, but just so it makes more sense on how we use our halters. So you've got the horse halter basically, and then you've got the nose guard sewn on the back.
On the nose? Well,
onto the nose, yeah. And then we've got, I don't know, how long would you say that rope is?
3 meters, 4 meters?
3 meters of rope. Now this rope is actually marine rope, as in boating rope. Why do we use that? Because it has a strength of like 1.2 ton to start with. And also it's weatherproof basically, and it gets better with time, doesn't it? So when you buy this stuff new, it's all silky and smooth and quite awful to deal with, but then once the more you use it, the better it gets.
And the other thing too is that you can go ahead and mount the ends, alright, and fuse the ends
properly
like that, and it won't fray.
And then here we have probably a traditional horse halter headstall. You've got your buckles, you know, it's got buckles on it. Unlike the rope halter, this has a lot of steel or buckles on it. So and we never ever use these, mainly because the buckles tend to really rub into the camel on the sides of the faces and stuff, so it just seems uncomfortable. And to be honest, you actually get better control, and you know, control in quotes, of the camel with the head stall makeup that we have.
Can I just add one thing that's here too? The thing that I'm always concerned about is the bridge of the nose. And with these, just on the sides there, I've seen with camels, I've seen this side of the strap has dug into the camel, and of course they've got infected, and there's been issues with that. Whereas the reason why I like these so much is because you can put that nose guard, you can actually sew that on to onto the halter, and you can have this on for months and there won't be any effect whatsoever on the skin, the integrity of the skin on the bridge of the nose.
Also, you may notice just there, oh hang on, there, that there are knots near Jack's eyes there, and that's another big reason why we do have the nose guards, is to keep the halter off the face a little bit, so those knots don't actually rub into his eyes. Now you can adjust a one of these, you can adjust these so that the knots are further down, so instead of the knot being there, you can adjust it so it's here, especially if you're making your own. But at the end of the day, it's sort of like, well, this has worked for us, and we've tried adjusted halters and it really didn't make much of a difference. So we're just stuck with the traditional.
I mean, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, that's how I look at things. Okay. There's another way to actually make a halter with just a piece of rope. I've got the rope around Coco's neck here, and I'll tie a bowline just in here. Right, just underneath his chin, underneath his jowls. Right, nice bowline. Now, you can lead your camel like that, that's fine, but you can actually make a full halter by making a loop head and putting it over the neck, over the nose like that.
So a really important thing to note about the camel's nose is it's an incredibly sensitive part of their body. If you think of, or if you've noticed in a herd of camels how they greet each other by the nose, they greet you by the nose, so it is a very sensitive part. So a makeshift halter like this, head, can I have your head? Good boy. You can see the rope that's come around here. And a makeshift halter like this, which Russell just demonstrated, can easily slip. That's why we don't use it as standard. That's why we use the secured head halter. So with this halter here, if this was to slip, that would come down there and obviously hurt his nose, because every time you pull on this rope, it actually automatically tightens. As you can probably see under there, there's camels everywhere. We don't recommend that as a standard practice. If you have to use that for whatever purpose, because that's sort of what you've got at the time, that's fine. But for training, handling, proper training, proper handling, we do not recommend this. And especially, never ever tie your camel up when they have a nose loop like this. Coco, head. Never tie them up when they have a nose loop like this. If they pull back, they can actually break their nose, so we never recommend that. So this is the makeshift halter. Can I have your head? And I'll take this off. So if anything, if you had to tie up, you could totally just do it whilst that is around the neck, and then of course this as well. But we like the whole secure setup. So let me take you to Jack and show you exactly the secure setup. First I'm going to take this off Coco so he doesn't cause any accidents or hurt himself. Just a piece of that marine rope we were just talking about. Now what we see that's very common practice amongst camel owners is that they just simply have the camel halter and then have a clip lead hanging off here like you would a horse. These guys really want to kiss me today. I don't know what it is. Very, very sweet. I love you guys too. The problem with just having the halter, I'm going to show you. So the problem with just having a camel halter, like the rope halter and a clip lead attached to the base here, is that if the camel pulls, the halter will slip off. So you may have already noticed here that we have the halter and then we have the lead rope, but just here there's about, I don't know, maybe a meter, depending on the camel's the length of or the thickness of their neck. We have a rope that goes around the neck, and then it actually goes under the halter to secure it. So as you saw before with Coco with the makeshift halter, that's basically what it was, but this, we've added the extra feature of the actual halter as well, so they get all the pressures of the halter for excellent handling and excellent training. So we've got this under here, and then you guys love the camera, don't you? And under here is the bowline knot. Jack, can I just have that for a sec? We've got the bowline knot under here, okay, and then here comes the lead rope. All right, it's about 3 meters in length. And here's the thing, guys. It doesn't matter how long your lead rope is. I mean, like 3 meters is a good length, because once it's cut too short, you can't make it longer. So you might as well make it a bit longer. And to be honest, you use it, especially in training and handling. Now, just a quick tip for training and handling, that we don't actually normally use the nose guard the halters on camels that are new, that we're training for the first time, or you know, are relatively fresh. And that is because we want the camel to feel the pressures around the nose so that they respond better and they learn to accept the halter and all the commands that's coming from the halter a lot quicker. So that is why we generally, just for the more experienced camels, make it more comfy for them with the nose guard. Of course, you know, you can use the nose guard for training, but you know, we sort of just made it practice. Oh, I don't know what you guys are loving on me today for. I do love you back. Yes, it is a standard practice that we generally just use the non-guarded halter for training and handling. Good boy. I know, what is it? So we hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do want to learn more about camel training, you can check out our virtual camel school over at camelconnection.com/camel school. If you want to learn how to make these camel halters that we've been speaking of, you can join our Camel Academy membership for a very small fee. You get access to that workshop and other camel equipment making workshops, and stacks of tutorials and vet talks and management, camel management skills. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.
Are you a new camel owner, or are you considering owning camels? Look no further for an alternative, gentle camel training method. Forget all the heavy-handed and dominance-based camel training styles. We'll show you another way. Get camel confident with your camel training and handling skills. Get our free camel training ebooks and videos over at camelconnection.com.
Say goodbye. Bye-bye.
Big boy.
Has to be the star. We should have chose him.